The Hurtlocker is made possible thanks to our communications sponsor, Freedom Internet. Locally owned and operated, Freedom Internet delivers secure residential short stay and commercial internet fiber services. When was the last time you updated the security on your in-home router? Don't worry, Freedom Internet will do it for you, keeping you and your family's online experiences safe and fast. Freedom Internet, connecting people and building community. Sign up today at freedominternet.co.nz. Today on the Hurtlocker, we have Mauso, Cedric Tausinga here to do a Super Rugby 2025 preview. Welcome, Mr. A.K.A Let's Talk Sports. How are you, my bro? All good?
I'm good, yeah.
Thanks for coming in. Excited? Nervous?
Nervous. Bro, I'm nervous, but excited for the season, eh? Should be good. Some big moves this year on Super Rugby, but yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Cool. How's it been for your show? Like, when did you start going through Let's Talk Sports?
Bro, it was busy. I started in lockdown, like towards the end of lockdown. And then, I was just bored, and then I always like spoke about sports with my friends and stuff. And then I decided to post one video. And I remember some of my mates were mocking me, and I was cracking up. And then a couple of days later, I made another video. And then I was out with the boys, but I had no data. So I had to wait till I got home. I got home, it was like early in the morning. And then I checked, I got like 100 comments.
Yeah.
I was like, this must be something good that I'm starting. Then just continued from there. That's kind of how it started. So 2021 till now, just slowly chipping away at it. Yeah.
I feel like you started, well, when I first saw you, it was a lot more like First 15 content. Was that kind of where you started with the whole journey? Or?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in like high school footy or high school basketball. And it started, I was real young. I was like year 7. I remember back in intermediate when we would go to school, you could go to the like library, could use the laptops, play games and whatnot. And I remember I was on YouTube and one of the boys there, he was like, have you heard of this basketball player who's Tongan in America? And I was like, nah, who's that? And then from there, I started like watching a lot of high school basketball. And then fast forward to like year 10, I came across High School Top 200, which a lot of guys kind of know. And then, I came across the 1A final for 2015, which was Auckland Grammar versus St. Kitts. And that was my first kind of like
recollection. Was that 18 year?
Nah, I think it would have been year 11.
Oh, right.
But I remember that game vividly because Wise Guy Fayane.
Yes.
He was like, he missed a few crucial kicks and then I just kickstarted it from there. But then I remember on TikTok, not a lot of people talk about high school rugby. And I know a lot of people are interested. So I was like, if I talk about it, I'm sure people would like to get involved. And then it just kind of blew from there. Everyone was like, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? I was like, I don't know everyone. But I tried my best. But yeah, kind of took it from there.
It's been good though. Like, that content you've built from there all the way now, you literally started posting on TikTok 2016.
2021.
2021. Yeah, all right. But you've loved it all the way back. But I've been watching
it for ages. Yeah.
Oh, far
2016, 2015. Yeah.
So now that you have that account and it's all set up, you've got a big following and people engage with a lot of your content every day. You cover heaps of sports, basketball, footy, NRL. I mean, you posted those. Was that Cup or Harold Matts?
Oh, Harold Matts.
The Waz boys.
Yeah, the Waz.
Yeah, I saw you posting those. Like, all that content gets split in heaps. And so do you enjoy doing it?
Yeah. There was a big reason as to why I didn't want to be Let's Talk like rugby.
Yeah.
That's why I made it Let's Talk Sports, because I know like I don't only talk about rugby, and then I know a lot of people in Z enjoy other sports other than rugby. So that's why I talk about basketball. I talk about UFC. There was even one time I made like a bodybuilding.
Or like C-bomb and stuff?
Yeah, the Mr. Olympia. And everyone was like, hey, this guy knows everything. But it's more so just a lot of the sports I'm interested in. So that's why I named it Let's Talk Sports. But man, I'll get comments like, you should just be Let's Talk Rugby. I'm like, no. Let's Talk Sports. I think, it's fitting. So
man. Now, so I got Cedric in for this episode because he followed me last week. He sent me a message on Instagram, and because I didn't know your name, and it was Cedric on Instagram, and then so I was like, I wonder who this guy is. So I just go to your profile, clicked on your link, and then it went to your TikTok, and I was like, so Let's Talk Sports guy. And so obviously been talking to him back and forth, and then so I just came across this idea, and I thought, look, we might as well get a whole preview done. I searched it up online. There's not a lot of previews done for the season. And, it's quite obvious. Like, I'm going off the mold of guys like Bloke in a Bar, Rugby League Guru, and the Rugby League content world, the Levels podcast, like those guys that do those previews. It's meant because you kind of already connect to the game before, so I guess us two were doing it today. The way we'll do it is I've given Cedric 3 teams to do, so he'll cover, was it Blues?
Yep, Blues,
Canes,
Hurricanes, and Highlanders.
Yep. So he'll cover those teams, and I'll do Chiefs, Moana Pasifika, and was that team?
Crusaders.
Oh yeah, Chiefs, Moana Pasifika, and the Crusaders. No disrespect, no disrespect. So I got those 3 teams to do, and so we'll get started now. I'll get you to start on the Blues, and we'll cover, the preview for the 2025 season. And with breaking news, I mean, just now, like literally 10 minutes ago, I checked Facebook, got a notification. Poor Sam Derry will be out for the season. Unfortunately, I think he needs to get injury. Yep. So injury on his shoulder, and he might need surgery for that. So that's going to put him out for a lot of this season. So condolences to Sam Derry. I think he would have had a huge year if he really played this year.
Yeah, he would have been mean. Obviously at the back end of last season, got the All Blacks call up. And then he got hurt, and to find this out, it's sad. Condolences to him, like you said, but hopefully he just recovers quickly and we can see him back on the field.
But yeah, shout out to my boy Josh Beer. I posted that thing of DMAC, the page.
Yes.
Well, that's how I saw it. Like I went to stuff and then I went over to his Facebook, saw it. So I commented that Thanos that. Fine, I'll do it myself, and I just tagged Josh Beer in the thing. But Josh, I reckon Joshy will step up into that role. If you get Josh and like Tuipulotu in there, he's already got that experience of last year, NPC and Super. I think he'll kill it. I think he'll slot right in, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. And under Paddy, bro, the season Paddy had, especially in that black jersey, he was unreal, eh? And it was pretty cool because last week I got to see him train, and bro, he's firing, eh? He looks fit. Looks really strong. So, I think Josh under Paddy will do really well.
Yeah.
The Blues 2024 result. So, they finished in second place behind the Canes at the end of all the rounds that were played. And then, lucky I'm a Blues fan, they ended up going all the way, beating the Chiefs quite comfortably in their final. A few key departures from the Blues. So, Cade Banks, he's gone over to the Hurricanes.
Oh, yes.
We have Akira Ioane, who's gone over to Japan now. We have Caleb Tangitau, who's with the Highlanders, as well as Soane Vikeno, who's with the Highlanders too. The signings that they've picked up, your boy Shay Clark, who was on last week, he mentioned that in the potty. From NZ7s, we got Peyton Spencer.
Yep.
Also NZ7s, they've picked up Xavier Taile, Auckland NPC.
That's your boy?
It was only a matter of time before he got signed there. Cam Christie, pretty underrated, played North Harbour NPC. They also picked up, Ben was with them, but I think they're kind of counting him as like a rookie.
It must be like a development contract. Yeah.
But he hasn't played a game yet, so hopefully he does get his debut.
Shut up, Inaki. That's my boy.
We also have Rian Paul, kind of under the radar as well.
Bayo Plenty NPC.
Bayo Plenty played, I think, center as well as wing. It'll be interesting to see where the Blues want to play him.
He's a strong ball carrier, bro.
Bro, he was massive. When I saw my chin, I was like,
ball carrier.
Is
he a big boy? I've never seen him in person, bro.
When I was watching him train, I was like, oh, bro, this guy looks like a gun.
Where did he play for Bayo Plenty? Was he out on the wing?
Yeah.
Or was he in the midfield?
No, they left him on the wing, eh?
Yeah, interesting. So it's gonna be, it'll be interesting to see how they use him this year.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people kind of know who he is. I was a bit like, hey, who was this guy? But then when I was watching him train and then the Blues do a bit of coverage on him, I was like, oh, yeah, he's going to be good. And then the last one, James Mullen, I think he had a game with the Crusaders maybe.
Oh, yep.
Played Canterbury NPC. And returning stars Bodie, as you know, ever from Japan. And they'll be coached by Van Cotter once again. The play style that the Blues will have, I think a lot of the teams will want to kind of build off of the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, strong set piece, strong through their pack, and then go out to the backs. But with the Blues, we know how good Hoskins Satutu was last year. Absolutely dominant at the 8. Unlucky to get an all-black jersey, but I think they're going to run a lot of things through him. And then, in my opinion, the Blues probably have the most dynamic backline. If I was just going from 9 to 15 at the top of my head, I'd probably say Finlay Christie, Bowden Barrett, Caleb Clark, AJ Lam, Rico Ioane, Mark Talea, and then you could have Zahn. Yeah. At the back, you could have Steven Perofeta or Cole Forbes, just absolute weapons. But if they can just establish their set piece like they did, they had a really good rolling maul last year. Their lineup was quite strong, and then Bowden just bag or tricks. He can just feed the boys and get some meat pies. I have a theme for this team, so you're gonna notice with the teams I've named. I've picked like a song which kind of represents them. So the theme,
I see.
the theme for the Blues is back to back. Like I'm Jordan 96, 97.
Damn,
which is a line from Drake. Back to back. The Blues will be looking to defend their title. They know they can do it. A few key departures, like I mentioned, but this team on paper is still one of the strongest teams, eh? And
yeah, 100.
the full squad that was named, I'll just go through them quickly. So for the propping department, they got Ofatonga Fasi, Angus Ta'aval, Masara Nata, Jordan Lay, Josh Fusitu'a, PJ Sheck, and Ben Ake. Over for the hookers, they got Ricky Ricatelli, Kurt Eklund, and James Mullen. For our locks, they got Patrick Tuipulotu, Sam Derry, Josh Bear, Lachlan McFarnell, Cam Christie, and the Lucies, Dalton Papali'i, Hoskins Satutu, Adrian Choke, Cam Sorfor, Anton Segner, and Shay Clark. For our halfbacks, they got Sam Knock, Finlay Christie, Dolfo Funaki. And then for first five, Burden Barrett, Harry Plummer, Stephen Perofeta. Over in the centres, Rico Ioane, Corey Evans, Mehana Grinley, Xavier Taele. And for the back three, Mark Talea, Caleb Clark, AJ Lamb, Zan Sullivan, Cole Forbes, Peyton Spencer, and Rion Paul. So that is the Blues, full team for this year.
And it's hard to see them not back in the final. Like, just reading that out on paper, every single name, just, experience-wise, everything, bro, it's real hard not to see them in the final this year. I think they're definitely going to get it back. I think especially in that guys like Dalton Papali'i, he's going to come back. He's going to definitely try and, he'll really force his hand this year on leading from the front. Guys like Hoskins. And then if you go to the midfield, guys like Rico, bro, he will, I think he's in for a big year, I reckon.
Too many people doubted me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, I think it's just people kind of fall off the stat. I mean, last year, I think with the try scoring, people were going around asking, when's Rick's going to get a trial? Just watch his work off the ball. Watch the positions he gets in the field. Watch the movement he shows. Watch how people try and engage. And, bro, it's the things he does off the ball as well that really kill. And then, it's Rico on it. I mean, if he gets, at the end of the day, it's just Rico. I mean, if he gets space, he's gone. You give him a gap, he's gone. Anything like that, he's just going to burn you. So guys like that, just going to kill it. And then, with especially Harry Plummer in his last year before he goes overseas, he's going to try and, take that lead from the front as well. And then, guys like Zahn. I mean, Zahn is just having guys like Zahn at the back, just because of how strong his boot is. If there's too much trouble, especially with him, he's a lefty as well. I'm pretty sure. I think he's a lefty. Lefty. With guys like him, you can just bail out. A lot of the time, like the Blues, they have that when they're over there on their 10, they just chuck that huge bomb. And guys like Zahn, he kills that bomb. And guys like Harry Plummer, they put it on a dime. But even if you're back in your 22, you've got so many options because you got Harry Plummer who can cook, Zahn who can cook, Stephen Perfetta who can cook, and they're just the skills across the park. And then you're missing guys like Corey Evans. I mean, like, bro, trustworthy as defense strong, attack strong. Mint story, comes back from injury. When he was through academy system, etc. Now he's killing it, playing all these teams, Māori All Blacks, etc. I mean, just off the experience they had last year with the representative footy, just especially in that back line, it's crazy, bro. Like, these guys are going to come back and they're going to have a huge confidence carryover. And it's just, you can't really not see them in the final this year, eh?
But like you said, it's hard not to see them go back, although they did lose a few key pieces. This team on paper are just so strong. Their backline, like, all of them could possibly make the All Blacks. And, like, they do lose Akira Ioane, but you have guys like Adrian Cho, Anton Segner that are still there. But this team, just absolutely stacked. And my match day 23 that I would name, so I'd have Ofatonga Fasi, Ricky Ricatelli, and Masa Renata for my locks. Peri Tuipulotu, but now that we find out Sam Derry's out, next man up, Josh Bear, like you mentioned. At 6, I'd probably go with Cam Saw 4. 7, Dalton Papali'i. 8, Hoskins Satutu Reina. My 9 to 15, like I mentioned before, Finlay Christie, Burden Barrett, Caleb Clark, AJ Lamb, Rico Ioane, Mark Talea, and Stephen Perofeta. And then off the bench, 16, Kurt Eklund. 17, Josh Fusitu'a. If you know Josh's story, he's the definition of, like, trust the process here. I remember he wasn't really looked at coming out of school, but he just kept grinding, kept working, played at Grammar Tech.
Him and Ahil.
Ahil too with the Chiefs. But those guys, now they're playing Super and consistently playing in Super 2, which is just crazy. So shout out to Josh if you see this, bro. Keep killing it, eh? I also have Angus Ta'aval, Josh Bear at 19, starting. And then 20, Adrian Choate, 21, Dolfo Funaki, 22, Harry Plummer, and my 23 would be my guy Xavier Taile on Navy, who I would name. I think just throw him in straight away. I think it'll be really good. And yeah, for my fantasy picks, I also have a few themes for this.
Yeah.
So I have this is my no-brainer pick. You got to take Hoskins to 2-2.
100.
Yeah, just the season he had. He's probably going to be so expensive though, so got to be wise when making those picks. But Hoskins, I have a let him cook theme. So Mark Talea and Caleb Clark, I think those guys going to be absolutely dynamic.
Leo Cook, bro. He'll be a fantasy demon, bro. Just because try scoring ability, defenders broken. I think let's see. I'll have a quick look. Defenders beaten, and the fantasy will give you. Let's see how many. Yeah, 2 points for beaten defenders, and I think he led at one point, or is the leader. I mean, bro, yeah, he'll be 15 points for a try. I mean, guys like that,
yeah, he's gonna be
pretty expensive.
That 2023 season, oh my days, he just killed it. And then I have a section called "Don't Count Me Out." So I think Cameron Smith will be pretty underrated. I don't think he'll be a lot on the market, but I think if guys do select him, he'll do a solid job. I'm at a position. And my rookie watch, like I mentioned, Xavier Taile. Yeah, I call him the golden boy of ended rugby right now. Just every grade he's played at, New Zealand schools, New Zealand 20s, Auckland NPC, he just keeps getting better and better. And I think, yeah, he'll be one rookie to watch this season.
100.
And then for my possible risks, I have this theme called conversion from 50, which is like a possible risk. I'm going to go with Paddy, only due to like health issues and now that he's getting a bit older. And also Burton Barrett. Now that he's a bit older and they have guys like Harry Plummer, Stephen Pettifitzer, that could play 10. So, yeah, depending on how the Blues want to use Bodie, yeah, it should be interesting, And then the season expectation, obviously go back to back, like I mentioned before. And a few key games. I think round 1 versus the Chiefs at home.
Statement game.
Yeah, statement game. They definitely show why they are the champions. Round 6 versus the Crusaders away. I know the Crusaders haven't been in the best shape the last couple of years, but every time the Blues played him, it's just always so hard to beat. The Crusaders either beat us or we beat them, but it's always such a tough matchup.
Home game as well to start off.
Round 4 actually against the Brumbies at home, and then I think round 16 versus the Waratahs at home as well. Will be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's my roundup for the Blues.
So Clayton McMillan will have a huge crack this year. He was right there last year. Obviously, he just fell short to the Blues in the final, but because they were right there, they're just going to come straight back off the back fence this year. And they'll give it a huge whack this year. This year, they've added 90 more Super Rugby caps to the squad, and we'll cover those players that were added to that squad soon. And just in a recent interview that McMillan did, he said, "I'm a big believer in cohesion, so having guys that have played together for a while and experienced the highs and lows together is important." And so, I mean, although the Chiefs went 9-5 last year, the good thing is essentially they just won when it mattered. And that's going to be huge for them this year. I mean, they understand how to get there. They understand where they've made their mistakes. And I think they're actually the franchise that's made the least amount of changes in regards to departures and signings. And so I think they're really in for a lot of... and it's obvious that Clayton McMillan wants consistency in his lineup and his squad. And so I think just for that reason, I think they're just like the Blues, they're going to be top. They're going to be near... They'll definitely be top 4 and holding a top 4 spot for the whole season. If you look experience-wise, Anton Leonard-Brown, Brodie McAllister, who got called up for the squad last year, Cortez Ratama, Damien McKenzie, Luke Jacobson, Sami Penifino, they all come back from All Blacks camp. And so with that, game experience, so considering the cohesion that was the focus, they'll be leading from up the front, and it's going to be built all around kind of, chemistry, teamwork, that kind of stuff there. And so other than that, it's obvious it's going to be an interesting year for them. Some club legends like Aiden Ross, they're off at the end of the year. So, who's a straight journeyman for the Chiefs. And then you have guys like D-Mac that drew a big one, especially after killing last year's season, finishing 177 points. Bro, the top point scorer last year. And then, unfortunately, the biggest take for the Chiefs this year is, and shout out to him also, Wallace Satiti, who's just got surgery done and it's set to miss a lot of this season. From a technical front, you miss his ball skills, his feet, speed, defense, work ethic, and just for that alone, it's a big miss. But I think just with playing him and on my experience, I reckon it's actually the leadership as well. And I understand they've got that. That's not a hit to the other players they have in their lineup, but it's just different. Like Wally's just different, and his presence there, I think they will miss it. And just how dynamic he is, I think the team will miss that. But so it's going to be interesting to see how they play, especially with their loose trio going into the season. But it doesn't really on the other side of that, on the flip side of the coin, Luke Jacobson has that form a lot. I mean, he'll take lead from that. And I'm sure guys like Wally will be back in there anytime soon. If we go to the squad breakdown, for this year, for 2025 in the Chiefs squad, in the prop department, you have Aiden Ross, hooker, Bradley Slater, Brody McAllister, prop, George Dyer, Jared Prophet, Ollie Norris, Ruben O'Neill, Samisoni Tokiaho, Sione Ahio. Shout out Sione, already talking about my boy Sione. And the locks and Lucy's, you've got Manaki Sabi Rickett, Naitoa Akoi, Sami Penifino, Simon Parker, Tupovai, and my boy Wallace Satiti. In the halfbacks, you've got Tetoiroa Tahuriorangi, Xavier Rowe. You got Damian McKenzie, Cortez Ratsama, Josh Chakum, and Caleb Trask. Caleb Trask is good, bro. He had a good
underrated.
NPC. Underrated.
He's solid.
In the midfields, you've got Anton Leonard Brown, Daniel Luruna, Gideon Rampling, Quinn Tupaya, and Ramika Poihipi. And Quinn Tupaya is he'll be huge this year, bro. Outside backs, as we know, Emoni Narua. I can't wait to see. He will be. I reckon he's kind of on my fantasy list there. I'm having a look at Emoni Narua. Itina Nanai Setsuro, Leroy Carter, the new boy in the system this year. Liam Coombs Fabling and shooter Sean Stevenson, who will come back a bit later.
I think he's gonna be. He's gonna be worth a lot.
100%.
Looking at him as well, but he might be a bit expensive. So
yeah. Well, I don't know how expensive it would be considering he's going to come back through the season, because remember he's still in Japan, is it?
Yeah.
He's in Japan.
Did you see how much they So Celestino Ravutamanda, Fijian Drua.
Oh yeah.
Did you see how much?
Nah.
Oh, they just gave a price for him, so he's worth $8.5 million.
Oh yeah.
On fantasy. So then I was like trying to gauge off of that. If he's worth 8.5,
it's almost a tenth of the.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh wow, well, you got to pick wisely. They just posted it. He's worth 8.5.
Mind you, that guy did beat a lot of defenders last year. So I mean, if you look at departures for the Chiefs, Tyrone Thompson, he's gone. I think he's signed with the Knights. I believe he's signed with the Knights. Kaukava Kaivilata, Japan 1 League.
Yep, Japan.
Tom Florence, Joshua has gone to Connacht in Ireland. And then you go signings, Brody McAllister, which is huge for the team. He comes from the Crusaders, and he's off in All Blacks camp call, so he's obviously got a confidence carryover for the year. And he's in for a huge season. He gets a clean slate where he gets to play for a new super franchise. His style might change for the year, who knows? But he just gets to express himself now with a different jersey on, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And we know Fitzy Sa, bro, 6'5", 126 kilos. The bro's on a mission this year. Bro, 126 kilos, they reckon online. Yeah, so he'll be a huge factor into his career, because he's obviously a future smoker as one of All Blacks' future.
Yeah, definitely.
And so now you take into consideration the locking department, it's already cooked with talent. You've got all those guys in the locking department, but it's actually good for Fitzy Sa because he gets that experience to learn. He just has to be a sponge and take in a lot of the knowledge they teach him. And a kid like that, with the drive he has, I mean, once that call comes up where he's going to play, he will play. And he'll go hard at it as well. And so I reckon he'll start molding towards like a Tupo Va'i kind of style. Yeah. I reckon that's what he'll kind of go. Jerome Brown comes back. It's his homecoming, really. I mean, he played for Hammy Boys at the flankers. So I'm sure he's settled straight back in, and he's just got to go to work now to earn a spot. And then the man that needs no introduction, Leroy Carter. Most of the guys I know him call him Boomfa, but bro, F-150 engine, this guy, I actually want to know his Bronco. I didn't see his Bronco on the Chiefs line.
Did he have the quickest one? Or
I'm not sure, but I actually want to see. I might try and DM the Chiefs and see if they message me back. But bro, he's crazy. If you watch the 7 circuits while he was there,
he was hustling it.
Bro, he doesn't stop. Good feet. He's fast, defends with his life. Like there's those guys, in sevens after they make a break, and usually you kind of just slow down or they take their time and before they put in the ball. And the bro just chases him the whole way down. And it's nuts there watching him play. So he's going to be huge. Similar to Jerome Brown, and Fitzy Sa, their department's kind of really stacked with talent. You got guys like Amoni Narawa, Shooter, and all those guys in the outside back. So it's going to be interesting to see where he slots in. He did a podcast when he introduced that he was moving with Carlos Price with the Hustlers podcast. And if I think he said that Clayton McMillan was just keen to just play around with where he kind of goes.
Where he wants to go.
So I'm not sure where he'll slot in, but it doesn't really matter to me. I think wherever he slots in, he'll kill it.
Swasami, no
Yeah,
feed. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Returning stars, there were really two I was going to highlight, and it's actually not D-Mac. Surprisingly, I think a lot of people will talk about D-Mac as a returning star, but I was going to go Wally and Sporvati. Over their last AB series, I just reckon just with the travel, playing that full series together, I reckon just the chemistry alone, they just were in for a big season. And they were roomies as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
They were roomies as well. So, that I think they just probably will know how each other play at the back of their hand, and I reckon they would have just gelled so well. Now, when Wally comes back, obviously, it's going to be the exact same. I mean, not much is going to change. But, if Wally was healthy, I reckon they could have gone on a tear this year, those two. The possible breakouts for the year. So, Malachi Rampling was a breakout star that I have.
He's been on a lot of like Super Rugby posts and like people talking about him.
Yeah,
he's looking to have a big season.
I watched the game of his for the NZ under 20s last year. Bro, he is a killer, bro.
He's a big kid too.
Is he big? Yeah. How tall? Because he's obviously Gideon's brother.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're both massive, eh? I mean, some big boys, bro.
Yeah.
So he's got NZ under 20s experience. He's debuted for NPC, I think. And so he's ready for a huge year. He's going to learn from some of the greats within the side. I mean, he'll be learning from a lot of those guys. And I mean, he's just a big smoky to kill the competition if he gets an opportunity this year. And so if we go down, they start super strong with this year, like you said before. We'll go to that game, but Blues Chiefs to start off the first game. So I'm really interested to see that game because it's actually going to show both styles of play. And so I'm really keen to see how that goes. From April 4th, they have a back-to-back-to-back, bro. They go Reds and then to the Tars and then to the Landers. And so that's a tough run that they're going to go in. So that stretch will be also interesting. And depending on, that's, you go Feb, March. That's 2 months with injury possibilities. And so if their side holds together, I mean, that would be beneficial for the side. But if there are any injuries, they go down. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that 3-game stretch plays out. And so, I expect them to just be at the top, bro. I mean, it's the Chiefs. I mean, they know how to get there. They were just there last year. They just missed. And so, I just expect nothing less of them. Hopefully, God willing, these guys stay injury free. Hopefully guys like Wally get back fast as possible. So look, it's just consistency is going to work for them this year if they, because that's what they were aiming for. I'm not actually going to take D-Mac for fantasy picks. Damn, it seems like I'm begging on D-Mac. I'm not begging on you, D-Mac, if you watch this. I actually love you. So I'm actually going to go for Tupovati and Quintupaya. That would be my 2 fantasy picks. You get points for the line-out wins, which Tubes will have.
He was really good on the lineup last year. I think that was the only knock on him. Was in the lineup, but man, he did well. Yeah,
so I'll be shooting for Tsupo and then Quintupaya, and also when Shooter gets back, depending on his price, I think
I'll go for a Shooter.
He's gonna be worth a lot. So hopefully it's actually not too bad. But that's my Chiefs season. So I'm actually really looking forward to watching them go this season. I'll tee up that call tonight. Hopefully Sione Ahio. I'm going to message him. Hey, Stione, I'm messaging you tonight. So you better say yes.
The Hurricanes 2025 squad. So for 2024, I think they were the favourites for a majority of the season. They finished first, but then you could say it was an upset loss to the Chiefs. I think that was the game where like Wally kind of like established himself. So
you can play well and then Wally happens.
I call that game the Wallace Satiti game. So unfortunately, they lose to the Chiefs and in a close semi-final. Key departures, Salesi Reyasi. I didn't even know he left, but he has gone over to France to play there. They lose Joshua Morby as well. He's gone over to Montpellier in France. Justin Sangster, he's over with the Blue Revs in Japan. The biggest one, Ari Savea. Over
That's
to Moana. They just got named captain too, so shout out to you, Ari. They lose TK Howden, who's over to the Landers. And Perenara, obviously he's gone to Japan and he played, his last time with the Canes last season. So, key signings. They signed Tom Allen, who played for Hawke's Bay, New Zealand under 20s as well. Cade Banks, who came from the Blues. I think Cade maybe played 1 game for the Blues.
I don't remember him playing a couple. I think I saw him a lot more in NPC. But
I think it was just hard with the amount of players they had. So hopefully he gets more of an opportunity with the Hurricanes. They picked up Lucas Cashmore, who was from the Blues, and you just mentioned that
He's got injured.
got an
so
injury,
yeah,
yeah.
So on the thing it says Hurricanes lose another first 5/8 contender to injury. Lucas Cashmore has been ruled out for up to 10 weeks with a knee injury.
Yeah. Oh man, that's tough. Damn.
Yeah.
I hope he just rehabs well. I'm still really young too, so he's got a lot of game left in him.
Heaps.
So yeah, full recovery. Yeah, to Lucas. They've also picked up Ereatara Enari from Moana Pasifika. Yeah. My guy Whihi Whinianga Nofo.
Yes, boy.
From Inter
Yes.
Sevens.
You gotta
I've
call
been
him tonight,
waiting
bro.
for him, bro, to play Super A. So from to get picked up for the Canes, yeah, finally get us chance. Zach Gallagher from the Crusaders. I don't know if you
Yes.
guys saw the Bronco he ran.
bro. I was gonna talk about that as
Oh
well.
my, 435 or something as a lock. It's just crazy. Eh? Riley Hohepa, they've also named him, but did he play a game last season for the Canes? I think
Bro, he was at Crusaders.
And then because he was the Crusaders, eh? But they're counting him as a rookie. I'm a bit confused, but yeah, well, the Canes have him.
I don't know actually. Yeah, now I'm confused. I swear he was at, bro. When I saw the video posted on Insta, I was like, well, I swear
I was
he
confused
with the Canes,
as well, but yeah, they got him. A guy from Taranaki named Arese Poliko, who's a bit under the radar, and a Hurtlocker from the Highlanders.
Nice.
They're coached by Clark Laidlaw. Their play style, I think, like I said, a lot of the teams will have similar play style. Set piece dominant, strong, forward pack. But with the Hurricanes, when I went through their roster, a lot of their players, they have a lot of like agile and mobile players. Like if you look at their props, guys like Xavier Numia, Pasileo Tosi.
Resigned.
Yeah.
Xavier Numia just resigned. So good. Well done to Xavier.
Yeah.
Tough resign. I think 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Nice.
Yeah, an absolute like rocket in space. Pasileo Tosi, who was originally a number 8.
Yeah.
And now you move him into prop, similar to like Tomaiti Williams, who was also number 82, move into prop. Hookers, Asafa Amor, probably the most agile, most mobile hooker we have around. Lock, Zach Gallagher, I had to put him in because a 435 Bronco.
100%.
You must be pretty agile,
100%, bro.
as well as Caleb Delaney. Lucy's, Braden Yose, underrated pick. Devin Flanders, both super agile. And then halfback, probably my favorite player right now, Cam Roigard.
Yes. Fantasy demon, bro.
For him to
Everyone's gonna be on straight on him.
For him to come back from injury to look like that is just insane. Especially that performance against France. We put up last year. Yeah, he's just too good. The theme I have for the Hurricanes this year, a song by LL Cool J. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. That's the theme. That's the theme I have for the Canes. So the Canes have been in and around the top 4 like every year. You can't count them out. They were just one short, losing in that semi-final last year. I think they can get back to the final. That'll definitely be their goal. They know they can make it, but yeah, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. And then the full squad that they have named. So props, they got Siala Lawaki, Tyrell Lomax, Tavira Mafileo, Xavier Numia, Porira Kitty Stones, and Pasileo Tosi. At hookers, they have Asafo Amor, Jacob Devry, and Raymond Tupu, underrated player.
He's
that guy.
gone. Did he play Manawatsu?
Yeah. He's absolutely, he's a gunny. At locks, Tom Allen, Caleb Delaney, Zach Gallagher, Josh Tyler, Willie Tucker, and Isaiah Walker-Leawere.
And he's good, bro. That guy is mean. He's actually
a gunny. In the loose forwards, these guys are going to have to fight for their starting position, and especially off the bench. Devin Flanders, Braden Yose, Duplessis Kirifi, Peter Lakai, Amarese Poliko, and Brad Shields, who's their captain. But yeah, just the amount of talented players they have at that position, they can just rotate them in and out every week. And yeah, the Hurricanes should be good. At halfbacks, Ere Anari, Cam Roigard, and Jody Villuin, still a young gun. I think he also played at Manawatu. I think he'll be really good. 5'8", Brett Cameron, Lucas Cashmore, and Riley Hohepa. In the midfield, Riley Higgins, Billy Proctor, Balin Sullivan, and Peter Umanga Jensen. I feel like Fehi could play in the centres if he wanted to, but he's been listed as an outside back. So we got Kate Banks, TJ Cloud, Fehi Whinianga Nofo, Harry Godfrey, Ruben Love, Kunina Holo, Daniel Sinkinson, and Ngani Punivai. So that's the Hurricanes full squad. My match day 23 would be Xavier Numia, Safo Amor, Tyrell Lomax. And at locks, we have Isaiah Walker-Leawere and Zach Gallagher. 6, I'm sure he will be captain, Brad Shields. 7, Duplessis Kirifi. 8, Braden Yose. And at 9, we got Cam Roigard. 10, we got Brett Cameron. 11, we have Kunina Holo. And at 12, we have Peter Umanga Jensen. 13, Billy Proctor. He's going to have another big season. I think 100%. He could also be pretty underrated In fantasy, I feel like
Yep.
I think there are a lot of 13s that people want to pick, but if I were you, get your hands on Billy A. And at
course.
14, Daniel Sinkinson, and 15, I'd have Ruben Love at the back. And then for my bench, I got Raymond Tuputupu, Tavita Mafaleo, Pasileo Tosi, Caleb Delaney, 20, Peter Lakai, 21, Jordi Voyuan, 22, Riley Hohepa, and 23, Riley Higgins. Now, for fantasy picks, no-brainer. Cam Roigard, like you said, he's going to be a fantasy demon. In my opinion,
It's gonna
probably
be so expensive, bro. It's gonna be
my
so
favorite player,
expensive.
probably the best player in NZ in my eyes. In my Let Him Cook category, we have Asafa Amua and Billy Proctor. For my Don't Count Me Out, I have Duplessis Karifi. And for my Rookie Watch, Fehi Funeanga Nofo.
Yes, I was gonna say that, bro. 100% fair.
Yeah, Ron actually, you know him quite well, eh?
100, bro. He's like, I was gonna say that, bro. Like, honestly, there's just no way he doesn't play good this year. I mean, when he gets his shot, bro, he will kill it. I mean, he's so fast, bro. Mobile as ever, strong. Yeah, I mean, this is a crazy glaze, bro. He's a perfect, bro. Yo,
You gotta
it
perform
might be
now,
him,
Fehi.
bro. It
Ron's
might be
glazing
him,
you,
Fehi,
bro.
He might be him. All right.
And then my conversion from 50, which is a possible risk. I think definitely at that first 5 position, it would be interesting to see who kind of solidifies the spot at 10. And now that you mentioned that Lucas is down, so I'm hoping Brett and Riley have big seasons this year. But yeah, that would be my possible risk.
Riley played really good for counties, bro. He
was mean, eh?
really good for counties. So I mean, I'm not if he's chucked in at that 10 slot. I mean, it doesn't matter because Brett Cameron's injured.
Oh yeah, then Riley.
Yeah,
Riley's a
so
starter,
Riley,
yeah.
so I think Riley will be in there, and I have no problem with that, bro. I
Yeah,
think he's a
yeah,
gun.
yeah.
His delivery was mean. His defense is really good, bro. He made heaps of tackles for counties last year, so it'll be mean to watch. What else?
And then season expectations, obviously they fell one short.
Yeah.
Losing in that semi, they got to go all the way. And then key games, round 1 versus the Crusaders away, round 3 versus the Blues at home, round 4 against Moana. That's the Adi Salvia return game. And then round 7 against the Waratahs, I think will be really good. So
Yeah.
That's
Right.
my
Also, I
Hurricanes
think
roundup.
also Riley Higgins as well. I mean, bro, he's also
he's up next day.
Yeah, he's up next, 100%. I
Nah,
mean,
yeah.
he's got good experience off last year. He stacked up a lot of games last year, whether it was for Canes or NPC. He stacked up heaps of games, and then, I can't see that guy not playing a lot this year, and I think he will have a huge role. I mean, in space, he's amazing.
Smoky fullbacks.
Smoky for All Blacks. Nah, 100. He's right there.
Right there.
He's right there. You can't take him off the depth chart
Yeah,
there, bro.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
right there,
Right there.
100%. So yeah, shout out Riley. Hey Riley, come on the potty, man. I'll get you on the potty. We'll move over to the Cedars now. So let's go to their lineup for the year. So in the front row, you've got Kershaw, Sykes Martin, Finlay Bruce, George Bauer, Cody Taylor, Ioane Moananu, George Bauer, Tamaiti Williams, Fletcher Newell, and Seb Calder. And the locks in Lucy's Scott Barrett, Quinton Strange, Taylor Cale, Jamie Hanna, Antonio Shalfoon, Ethan Blackadder, Christian Leowilli, Tom Christie, Cullen Grace, Corey Keller, Dominic Gardner, Fletcher Anderson, and the new boy on the block, Xavier Seifaloy, who will be home this year. This year. Midfields and outsides, Dallas McLeod, David Havili, captain for the year or so, Levi Almua, Braden Enor, Aki Tuivailala.
Aki's a great pickup.
Yeah,
That's
100%. I had that for a
mean
Smoky
pickup,
for the
bro.
year as
He's gonna be gangster. Yeah.
Johnny McNichol, Macca Springer, another one for
Macca
the
Springer,
big year. Civil Reese, Shafi Haki, and Will Jordan. On the inside backs, Mitchell Drummond, Noah Hotham, my boy, who I'll be calling tonight. Pause, actually. Kyle Preston, James O'Connor, Rivers Rehana, and Taha Kimura. And obviously Rob Penny, Dan Perrin, James Marshall, and Matt Todd in the coaching staff. And
Also, shout out to the Crusaders for getting Noah, Taha, and Aki.
bro, yeah,
all
from the
from
Hammy,
boy.
it's just built
So I
straight
see
from
what
the
they're doing.
factory,
I see
bro.
what they're doing there. I see what they're doing.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that's there last year playing at Apollo Project Stadium. 7 titles there.
Yeah.
It's like a fortress for them. So, I mean, you'll be silly to think that they're not going to play their hearts out this year because they're going to want to finish it on a high. And then obviously next year they move over to One New Zealand Stadium. And so, yeah, it's going to be a huge year for them. David Havili is this year's skipper. And so he'll kill it for them. No question. He's the utility role. I mean, he can play really anywhere in the back line that you put him. And so, I mean, yeah. No one. I don't think anyone doubts that. The key new signings: James O'Connor.
Yeah, that was interesting, eh?
Yeah,
For him to
that
get
was
picked
huge.
up.
Yeah, social media wise, like in the comment section, I saw heaps of people bagging
For real?
James O'Connor, yeah, which I thought was super offside.
Yeah,
and that was
yeah,
a he's a good player, bro.
So much experience.
Exactly.
Debuted for Australia at 18 or
Exactly.
so for him to come into the Crusaders. He looks weird in those colours, though.
Yeah.
Like every time I was
100%.
watching them train, I was like, it's gonna take a
Yeah.
while.
Cole Preston,
Yeah,
who's coming off from especially the NPC season that he had, killed that, bro.
Well,
He was
Wellington,
good. Yeah, really good. And then your boy Aki, he's on rookie
Bro,
watch.
Aki, G. He's unreal. I don't know how the Crusaders got him. It was probably Noah and Taha trying to get him over, but what a great pickup by the Crusaders.
Yeah, hard. And then Xavier Sofoloy, who's obviously the same thing, just like Aki, bro.
Yeah,
Another smoker, and especially like the Chiefs and their positional, because they're so stacked. I reckon he's gonna learn heaps this year. Just needs to be a sponge.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of the knowledge he learns, especially of guys like Christie and all those boys, bro. He'll kill this year. And then these guys already debuted in the red and black jersey for the Cedars, but they earned full-time contracts this year. So Seb Calder, Fletcher Anderson, Antonia Shelfoon, and Kershal Sykes Martin. So good on them. Congrats to those boys for getting in there. David Havili for captain, 128 Crusaders tests, 5 All Black tours, and he was also the vice cap for the Crusaders in 2020. So he knows the deal. He knows how to be a leader. He's got the experience.
Be easy transition from to that role.
So that's not a no-brainer for me. If it's not Scott Barrett, it's David Havili next up. So good on him. Who leaves for the year? Joe Moody. Unfortunately, he left early last season due to injury and didn't fully recover from ankle surgery. Owen Franks has moved on to be the assistant forwards coach at Japan. And so he'll be there. Brady McAllister's at the Chiefs, like we talked about in the last segment. And Zach Gallagher has obviously moved to the Hurricanes. And the Bronco. I mean, bro, what the hell? It's actually nuts. Willie Hines left. He's a coach. He's a coach now at Christchurch Boys High. And then guys like Fergus Burke, Riley Horhepper, Ryan Crotty, Johnny Rova is also.
Did he leave?
Yeah. I'm not sure where Johnny's gone.
Where's he gone?
Blair Murray's playing for Wales now.
For Wales?
Killing that. Manasa Mataele, he's also gone as well. And Lee Halfpenny.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So those guys all gone. And Hidemai Murray is also
with the Reds.
Gone. Yeah, he's also with the Reds. And actually, just so people know, if I got asked who the fastest person in Super Rugby is, I would actually say Hidemai Murray.
Out of everyone?
Yeah, out of everyone.
Caleb.
Yeah, no joke, bro. I reckon Hidemai Murray is the fastest in Super Rugby. Okay. He's got some speed. If you watch some of those Northland games for Taniwha, and then he got a break,
good breaks.
Bro, it was like 2 steps, and then it was at peak speed, bro. He's crazy quick.
Okay.
Crazy quick. And so, it's plain to see how different the Cedars were last year. And it's not just because Razor had left and they obviously had a new head coach, but I think they lost the whole leadership experience as well with Richie Moonga gone, Sam Whitelock gone. And then, you got guys like Ethan Blackadder, Scott Barrett, David Havili, Tamaiti Williams, Will Jordan, and Braden, they all spent heaps of time on the sideline. So they were missing all that experience as well. So they just had to test their depth, really. Cody Taylor also had a non-playing sabbatical last year.
Yes.
And so, all that experience gone. I mean, the Cedars really held on with their depth and really tested because they were just there to finish in the top to kind of get into that final series. But obviously they just missed out. And then, you got guys, well, obviously David Havili comes into his first game this week as captain. He said in this press conference this week, I can't wait to lead the team out on Thursday. I had itchy feet sitting on the sideline in Kurui against the Blues last week. So I'm excited to get into it. He's fizzing as a leader. He'll be out there leading from the front. Will Jordan plays his first game this week off his injury. So I'm sure everyone's excited to see Will Jordan back.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's going to try and go for Will Jordan in fantasy just because of the amount of tries he gets.
You got to be smart in fantasy because...
you got to be smart in fantasy, but then Will Jordan's just... Bro, he's crazy smart. I mean, but the stuff he does is just nuts, eh? I mean, he's different, bro. That guy's different. His IQ is off the charts. I mean, he's in the right position at the right time. People who say, why do you think Will Jordan scores so many tries? Because he's there before the play goes, like he's there before everything happens. So, real keen to see Will Jordan run it back. Seville gets his run back on the wing with Shea Fihaki on the other. Ethan Blackadder, who is him, will be back in full force this season. And, it really all looks good. And so I feel like although they fell short to their standards last year, and reality calls. And so all the players that had to really hold it down for the Crusaders last year, it's actually been a valuable lesson for them. And, they're going to take that experience into this season. And then my favorite 9 and 10 combo, Noah and Taha.
That's that, yeah.
It's Batman and Robin, bro. Batman and Robin, that's my boys. So I reckon their chemistry is going to come this year, bro.
They
Like,
just followed each other
yeah.
the whole way.
their chemistry will really kick in this year. And you know, if it's not a win, it's just like it's just gonna happen.
Yeah,
bro. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
those two have played, you know, touch footy, growing up together.
Together.
I mean, so they know they could play with each other blind. If they were to, you know, like so. And so you know, I think they're fast, agile. Their ball skills are like no other. And so you know, if the Crusaders play their original blueprint like we know them to play, and they shift the ball well, and the forwards kind of get that motion, giving, you know, go forward for the backs with the pace of Noah and Taha.
Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy, bro. They could play on top of a lot of teams this year. If they get the chance to play at that speed. So I love that combo. I think it's perfect for the game. I reckon it's perfect for the direction that the Crusaders should go or want to go. And considering David Havili's right there to help steer the ship, especially with a young trio with not as much experience like Noah and Taha, bro, I reckon they could take it all the way this year. And so it's important that, you know, everyone just needs to get those games under their belt, build that experience for the year, before settling into round one for the season. Will Jordan is my fantasy pick on the team. No question. He just
ran at that one.
Point scoring guard. Knows where to
strike
be.
rate for the All Blacks.
Bro, 100%. I mean, the guy is just crazy. And then Noah Hotham's my other one. So he comes off his All Blacks debut last year. Played a bit more with All Blacks 15. I think he's just going to take confidence into his stride this year. He understands it now. And just this season, he's just going to, I reckon he'll just ball out.
Yep.
Yeah, he just ball out. They start the year hot, back to back, Canes and Chiefs. Then they get a bye week, so they can kind of afford to just go 110%, bro. They understand that in week 3 they can kind of slow it down a little bit, get some rest and recovery before going into the other part of the season. But they'll kill it this year. Yeah, so I'm really keen to see how they go this year.
Can't sleep on them, me.
Yeah, 100%. I think just like I said earlier, with playing at that stadium for the last time, oh, bro, I reckon it's going to be, the crowd's going to be getting amongst it this year. Christchurch will be backing them heavy just because, I mean, you know, with last year, they want to get back to where they were, you know, winning all those in a row. Yeah. And so it's going to be huge to watch them come back this year for as a team and as a franchise. It's the Cedars. That's the Cedars.
So the Highlanders 2025 squad. So in 2024, they finished 6th. They did it really well, but unfortunately, they lost to the Brumbies in a tough quarterfinal matchup. A few key departures. Jermaine Ainsley, I don't know if he's still playing footy or not. I just know he's not with the Landers anymore. Billy Harmon, who was massive for the Highlanders last year. He's over.
Where's he gone?
Japan.
Oh, true. I didn't actually know he left.
A lot of players have gone to Japan, eh? But yeah, Pari Parkinson, he's over in Japan as well. And then Max Hicks, who's departed from the Landers too. He's not on the squad, but I don't know where he's playing yet. Key signings, they got TK Howden from the Hurricanes. Sefo Kotai, who was playing in Japan. This guy right here, he was amazing for Southland. Michael Manson.
I said the fastest. It might be him. Yeah, it might be him. It might be him.
How you said it's Jeremiah? I was like, nah, I think it's Michael A. I watched Michael in the 2019 NZ Barbarians versus Australian Schools game. If you saw the try he scored, go search it up. That's when I knew, yep, that guy's got wheels.
Bro, we should, you know what we should do? We should do like a what's it called? The you remember there's like on YouTube if you watch like those old Ben Barber 100-meter races in or out. We should try and set one up.
Get like a money prize involved. Need an initiative for
just
the
get everyone to sponsor it, bro. And everyone's run 100-meter.
But I think so I think Michael will be the quickest in Super Rugby. They also got Louis Nayata, who was playing in Japan. Caleb Tangita from the Blues. I think he could keep up with Michael as well. Swana Vikena from the Blues, and then Josh Fanga. Playing at Otago, played NZ under 20s last year, and I think in 2023 as well. Plays centre, and I think
he's a gun, bro.
Yeah, as well as and he's got a brother. I don't know if he's still at the Highlanders or not, but he's a gunner. They're coached by Jamie Joseph. Their play style, like we mentioned, they got a lot of speed. So I think if they can put on a lot of like crossfield kicks and grubbers and let boys like Caleb and Michael play off of that. Yeah, Tavanawa. Just when Shay said he's the hardest guy to tackle.
Yeah, when you said that, I actually went over to YouTube and I just searched up highlights after I was watching. And I like really looked at some of the stuff he was doing and I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah, it's like unfair. Like he's fast, low center of gravity, so he's hard to take down. But so they want to dominate with their forward pack. They got a pretty big pack. Guys like Ethan the Groot, Fabian Holland, Oliver Haig, who I'm a big fan of. I feel like he's pretty underrated. Was in the All Blacks 15, so I think he'll have a big season. Sean Withy, and Saula Ma'u. Shout out to Saula, Auckland Grammar boy. Yeah, he's just chipping it away.
Don't know about grammar.
But yeah, a lot of speed, and yeah, whoever's at first five, probably Cam Miller, can mix in a lot of different kicks and whatnot. Yeah, they'll be good. My match day 23, Ethan de Groot, Jack Taylor, Salah Ma'u, Fabian Holland, Mitchell Dunshea in at locks, Oliver Haig, Sean Worthy, Hugh Renton as the loose four trio. At 9, Folau Fakatava, I think he's going to have a massive season. Still really young, and I know he wants to get back into the AB's picture. So this season is definitely one where he can solidify himself as one of the best halfbacks in the competition. And at 10, we have Cameron Miller. 11, Jonah Nareki. 12, Timothy Tavatavanawa. He was also co-captain of Hugh Renton. And yeah, like we said, he's going to be a fantasy demon as well.
He'll kill it this year. Yeah, no doubt.
And at 13, Tanielu Taleta. And at 14, I think I'm hoping Caleb gets to start. Caleb Tangitau. Yeah, pretty unlucky not to play a lot at the Blues. It was just hard to play there. So hopefully with the Landers, he gets more of an opportunity there. And at 15, Sam Gilbert. 16, Sawane Vikena. 17, Daniel Leonard Brown. 18, Sefo Kotai. 19, Will Stoddart. 20, Nicola Broughton. 21, James Ascot. 22, my guy, AJ Faleafanga.
Yes, boy.
And 23, Jacob Ratumatsuvuki Neebkins. Or Finn Hurley. You take your pick.
Yeah, Finn Hurley. I was looking at Finn Hurley, bro, because watching his stuff with Dunners last year, or Otago, bro, he was crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the biggest guy, but it doesn't really matter because the guy's shifty, man. Gets around. You see the offload he did against Auckland? I think it was Auckland.
No.
Bro, he dragged someone out. And it turned it into like a 2v1, and then whoever was the winger for Auckland at the time, I think, man, bro, he threw like this crazy offload. Like, honestly, he's got some mean highlights. So he's right there in the picture as well for those guys.
Definitely.
100%.
A theme I have for these guys, going off the songs that I have, it's a song by Lil Baby, Some to Prove. Lately, I've been in my bag. Bro told me don't take my foot off the gas. So these guys just got to go out there, prove everyone wrong. On any given day, at their best, they can be any team. So, yeah, hopefully, they can go well this year. Fantasy pick, so no-brainer. Timothy Tavatavanawa, like we mentioned. He's probably going to be worth 18 million or something crazy. In my Let Him Cook category, Folau Fakatava and Ethan de Groot. In my Don't Count Me Out category, Oliver Haig. Rookie watch, Michael Manson. I'm going to say it now, I think he is the fastest player in Super Rugby. And yeah, me and Ron are going to set up a race.
Yeah, we'll set it. Boys, actually message me, man. I'm going to set that up.
Hook me up too.
We got something here. We actually got a good idea. That's actually a good idea. I reckon Ethan de Groot for fantasy is going to be huge this year. If you look at that scrum win in fantasy this year, if you win your scrum, your whole front row gets 3 points. And so whoever's going up against de Groot or whoever has de Groot in your fantasy, I mean, you could be making a lot of points just on him alone this year.
And my possible risk or conversion from 50, I feel like it could be anyone in the back three just because no one's really cemented that spot yet. So it could be Sam, Jacob or Finn. And then also on the wings, they got Caleb Tangitau, Michael Manson, Jonah Lowe and Jonah Nareki. So it'll be interesting to see who kind of like cements their position.
Who's the depth there?
The depth there, but like who
stays consistent in that, So it'll be interesting to see, especially with Jamie Joseph there.
It'll
be interesting to see how they play that out.
And for the full squad, so the Highlanders, they have named James Ascot, Josh Bartlett, Henry Bell, Nicola Broughton, Mitch Dunshea, Folau Fakatava, AJ Faleafanga, Sam Gilbert, Ethan de Groot, Oliver Haig, Nathan Hasty, Fabian Holland, TK Howden, Finn Hurley, Sefo Kotai, Vaveni Lasanga. I'm a big fan of Vaveni.
Bro, massive, yeah.
I'm a massive fan of Vaveni.
Vinny and Josh Bartlett, bro.
Yeah.
Killers, bro.
But plenty boys, mean. Daniel Leonard Brown, Jonah Lowe, Michael Manson, fastest man in Super Rugby, Salamau, Hayden Michaels, Cam Miller, Louis Nayata, Jonah Nareki, Jacob Ratumatsuvuki Neebkins, Hugh Renton, Tane Robinson, Will Stoddart, Caleb Tangitau. We have Jack Taylor, Jake Ta'iwi, Tanaelu Telea, Thomas Umanga Jensen, Sawane Vikena, Josh Fanga, Rowan Wingham, and last but not least, Sean Withy. So that's your 2025 Highlanders
Who's their
squad.
captain this year? You know?
Oh,
They
so
must have
it's
not
Hugh
announced.
Rinson and
Oh,
some
yeah,
other
and
Thomas
yeah,
Overnight.
that's right. Yeah, no, I
Okay,
did know
captains.
that.
Yeah, so
Mate.
that's your Highlanders.
So finishing with Moana Pasifika, I don't really want to touch too much on last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But there are reasons to that, and there's no disrespect to those guys that started the platform for the team. Because obviously, like I'm a huge fan of Moana Pasifika, and I'll be going to a lot of the games
It's
this
hard to
year.
come into
and
a
I
comp
have in
like
the last
that.
couple.
And,
Exactly.
And try to like
So I just feel like it's natural for a new team to be joining a competition and face obvious headwinds. But if you actually compare the Moana Pasifika squad sheets like this year's and last, like it literally like a whole new team. Honestly, the squad's just totally different. They kept the core players, which is good because I mean, they bring the essence of Moana Pasifika and the vision that the governance have for the team. But it's no secret Artie's experience, talent, and aura. His aura just crazy. I mean, there's media, bro. I mean, the other day, like if you look at the picture last year of the media presence day in a preseason, it was like nada, and then you go to their training the other day. And there's like every single mainstream
Everyone's
media
there.
platform under the sun standing there. So
and he was the water boy too.
exactly, bro. So
the preseason
it's no doubt. Artie's obviously going to bring a whole new fresh look for the team. And just with his aura alone, and just with his skill set and what he's doing and why his reasoning for being there, a lot of the boys will kind of pick an extra step, of their game, and they'll really lift, give a bit more. So I think they're really going to have a good dig this year. More than that, I think Tana Umanga as a coach, he's really do a job for the team this year. Right? He said something in a press conference recently. He said, "We want to bust the door open in 2025." It feels like that. It really does. I mean, it's a full-on cliche. It's like cliche as for a coach to say something like that. But off the newly found media presence with Artie there, the energy of the boys through the content that we've seen with the content team there at Moana Pasifika. All the clips, the photos. I mean, you can just feel the energy shift in Moana, and it's exciting. So it's not that I'm neglecting those that started, for the team, but I just feel like the team's in a position where they'll really give those other sides a hot crack this year. And so I can't wait to see Moana play. I'm just so excited, bro. Like the highlights for that preseason game, because I didn't get to watch live, look good. The team looks well. And you can't wait to see it go. Let's look at the full squad. Abraham Pole, Isaiah Halo, Alan Craig, hey, my boy Alan. Hey, love you, Alan. Alamanda Motsunga, Adi Savea, captain for the year. Chris Apoa, Danny Tsoala, Fine Nisi, Ari Papuni, Jackson Garden Bishop, James Lay, shout out James Lay, it's my bro as well. Jonathan Samitene, Julian Savea, Karen Salmoifalo. Karen, see you soon. Join the potty soon, my boy. Lalomilo, Losi Filippo, Losui Nisi, Melanie Matavao, Michael Curry, Miracle Failangi, Neria Formai, Ofa Olatawilangi as well, Patrick Pellegrini. Interesting pick as well. Pep Spatsafilo, Pone Fa'amausili, Sama Malolo, Samuel Lamoli, Samuel Slade, Samisi Paya, Sione Havili, Sione Mafileo. Guys back, Solomon Alaimalo. He's back as well. Hey, my boy Tito. Hey, Teets. Hey, love you, Teets. See you soon, bro. Tito Tuipolotu. So proud of him getting in there as well.
Good on him.
Tavita Ofa, Tomasi Maka. Tom Savage is back as well. Tuna Tuitama, who was a new signing for the year. William Havili. So, bro, a sick lineup. Guys that have left for the year from last year. Donald Bryhouse, Sateki Latu, Sekope Kepu. Siotene Asomua, Ari Papuni. Oh, well, he's in there. I think so. Solomone Funaki, Iriatade Enari, who you see over at the other team now. Christian Leali'io Fano, D'Angelo Lewila, who's gone to Utah.
Oh,
so he's gone to the MLR.
Gone, bro.
Henry Taifu, Angelo. He's gone. He's gone as well. Nigel Awang, Otsumaka Mausia, and Viliame Fine. And so that goes out. And then key signings, I mean, you read it all on the list. One guy I actually hope they sign, which I didn't actually see him on the list, so I hope they signed, is Samisi Taylor, Tupo Taylor.
Oh, yeah, the number 8
the 8 that played for Southland Stags.
Bro. He trains with them,
He played last week, bro. He played 2 of the... they played in thirds.
Oh, yeah.
He played 2/3 of the game last week, bro. At 8.
I'm sure he'll.
I want him, bro. I want him, bro. I want him there so badly, bro. He is such a gun. I mean, his runs last year, his presence, his ball strength, he carried a lot of those games for Southland, I reckon. Obviously, topped up with guys like Michael Manson, you know, he played so well for them last year, bro. So I hope he really gets in there. But you know, the key signings for this year: Chris Apo, Ponefa Mausili, Sione Mafilio, my boy Tito Tuipolotu, Alan Craig, who did play last year, obviously. Michael Curry, Adi Sevilla, hopefully Samisi, Tupo Tailoa, Melanie Matavao, Jackson Garden Bishop. Be huge for the team this year. I can't wait to see him play. I love the way he plays, bro.
Solid pickup.
Patrick Pellegrini, Solomon Alaima Law, Lucy Filippo, my boy Kyron, Tamoifilo, and Tuna Tuitama. On the development contracts, Mills Sanirivi, who's over there, the Chiefs last year, played the final. Love you, Mills. Afa Molili, Connor Seve. You got Folletti's there as well. Nico Jones. Folletti was my he bulleted me once.
Hey,
yo, we were down in Palmy. He was we went and bullet with him. It was so funny that night. Like before we, you know, like when you go, like we went on a rugby tour down in Palmy. And the coaches always say, don't stay out late.
Yeah.
Like if your bullet's out late, just say, oh, can we like, you know, try and get home and go to sleep early for the game. Bro, we all went to the movies and we had like full on Macca's share boxes the night before. Bro, we stayed out till like 1 a.m. or then that night, right? We played the next day. Weather was so trash and we were like, bro, we were so tired the next day. It was me and my bro Bradley. Bulleted with those guys. Philly, big love for that guy. Nico Jones, Siosi Ngini, and Vili Napa'a on the development contracts for the year for them. So returning stars, Solomon Alai Malo returns to Super Rugby from a stint in the NRL. It's a simple coming home occasion for him. He went with speed and instinct, exactly what the outsides need for the year for Moana Pasifika. So it's going to be good to have him there. Lotsui Nisi, he's a returning star for me. With Adi's versatility in the back row, I think it actually works for Moana Pasifika in this situation. He's a bloody gun. Like,
he is.
Lotsui, bro, he's
been mean the last couple of years.
Carries strong in last year. In the competition, he finished 8th in the Super Rugby comp for defenders beaten. So he got 44 defenders beaten last year, and he was the only forward in that category.
That says a lot.
Exactly. So he needs to be there. He needs to be there. He took home 3 individual awards at the Moana Pasifika Awards last year.
Not surprised.
One as forward of the year, one as attacker of the year, and then he also got the players player of the year. And so it's more than him just being a gun. It shows what he means to Moana Pasifika, and then it shows what Moana Pasifika means to him as a player. He gets to rep Tonga and Samoa on the big stage, and he's doing it well to the point where I actually think he should be the 8. I actually think he should be the 8 for the team. And Adi can play on either side where Adi plays. Possible breakouts. He's listed as a new signing, but he's got the experience. I'm going to go my boy Kyron. Tom Moifalo. I watched him closely in last year's NPC, where he played a pivotal role for the Mako. But yeah, bro, he's just got the opportunity to grow this year. It's no given that he's got some crazy pace. And you know, if whoever marks him 1-on-1, they're gonna know he's fast. Good luck. They're gonna know he's fast, and he can get on the outside. With him being under someone experienced like Solomon Alai Malo, I think he's just gonna learn and grow this year. He just needs to be a sponge to it. But then more than that, Se Lala Mapusua is in the coaching system this year, and he specializes in backs, you know, with skills and with Se Lala's experience. I think he's going to be huge for Kyron in developing as a player this year. So that'll be huge for him, and you know the knowledge he receives from Coach Se Lala Mapusua and you know guys like Solomon Alai Malo and those boys on the outside. As long as he kind of just sponges that knowledge, all he has to do is just trust his skills, trust his instinct, and he'll kill it when he gets his opportunity. It's hard for me to see Kyron without a big future in the game. I think he's set for a big future. Kind of rugby they play. One of the core members of the team, James Lay. He's one of the core. He's one of those backbone players, and he's one of the core members of Moana Pasifika. I've met him a couple times, so I know he's about it, bro. Like he'll be right on there. And after the interview of last week's game, he said something that caught my eye. And he said, more of the boys really understand the game plan this year and what we're trying to do, which is good. And I think that right there for any fans of Moana Pasifika like myself, it just answers the 100 questions you have. Like, surely they're not going to do the same thing. Surely they're going to get, you know, a bit like more time with ball in hand, etc.
Because the talent's there.
Exactly, the talent's right there. Coaching's there. Things are there, and I think it's all aligning. So with a guy like James saying that, it means a lot Like it means, you know, they're catching on to something.
yeah.
The coaches are instilling a system that they're going to play at, you know, a high threshold this year. And so I think with that going along, the confidence and the way he said that, it just tells us that those 1%ers are there for the team this year. And so I think, you know, they're just going to tick off the boxes, and I reckon they'll just be better, get better and better as the year goes on. We'll like to see them with the ball in hand this year. Just with results last year, we obviously know that with losses and, you know, consistent losses, you obviously don't have the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And so you don't really get to showcase a lot of the skills that you have as a side. But I think with the new signings this year, with Selala Mapusua in there, with Tana really ready to give it a hot crack this year, bro, I reckon they're right. They'll be getting a lot more dubs on the board this year. And they'll get to show a lot of their skills and the potential that they really haven't unlocked yet. And so it's gonna unfold this year. Where they finish this year, I really don't care, right? That's not a problem.
Point.
It's not the point for the season.
For the season, yeah.
Artie's influence is obvious. The boys are obviously confident, especially with how guys like James Lay said that. And so I reckon it doesn't matter where they finish this year. They just have to stack games, stack experience, get cohesion, get that chemistry, and bro, they'll have a good year. They'll smash it. Every game is important for them this year. Fantasy picks for Moana Pasifika. No brainer. Artie will be one of the highest owned players. And that's fully understandable. Artie's just him. You know,
Nothing more to say.
Nothing more to say. Artie's Artie.
Yeah.
And he'll stack those points. I mean, he's probably going to be 100 mil. But you know, just he'll stack those points. And so that's Moana Pasifika. But yeah, that covers pretty much all our teams.
No, that's me. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Should be well.
Yeah. So
Sure.
that's a big preview for the teams that are based. We'll do another episode.
Yeah.
We'll do it when I get back from Canada. We'll run
100.
another episode and we'll break down a lot of those Australian teams. But you know, for the teams that have home bases in NZ, that's the super teams. Because look, we've been waiting for like this for a long time. I've seen heaps of comments on socials that like a lot of the fans are like real ungrateful with the stuff we had this year. So the CEO Jack Measley, he did a podcast with the Waddle Ad guy.
Yes.
And he was talking about how he's trying to add gamification to the game this year. People were saying it's not an app. Like the fantasy is not an app this year, so I'm already don't want to play.
Yeah.
Things like that. But like, and like, you know, people saying like with the huge announcement yesterday of the pretty much like a Dalium style point system for the Super Rugby Player of the Year. Oh, it's just a carbon copy of the NRL. Like sport's a business, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you want to thrive as a business, you watch something that's going well. Obviously, things like the NRL are going
and
great.
And the NRL's been thriving, so obviously they want to take that
exactly.
model.
And so it's not that they're exactly copying. It's a business at the end of the day. And I think I've got so much trust in what the CEO of Super Rugby Pacific Jack's doing this year. I mean, it's huge, bro. Watching him, I actually believed what he was saying. You know, you get a lot of those press conferences and the mainstream media where they'll talk about, oh, we want to do this, we want to grow the game, we want to do this and that. But then, you know, in the last 2 weeks, we've got announcements about fantasy and things. So if he can do something like that in such a short time frame, I just feel like the game's just going to grow so much. You know, like guys like us who have got things that are like second tier media, third tier media. Like I reckon if we just push a lot of that, bro, the game's got so much space to go at. And so I'm so keen to see how it goes this year. Yeah, things like Artie, he announced that he was going to jump ship to support his heritage, his mum and dad, lead from the front. With Moana Pasifika, he did that on the morning shift.
Yes.
Like shout out to the morning shift. He did that on a separate media platform as well. Like the game's so keen to grow. You know, like I reckon it's like the opportunity is right there. And so yeah, I'm just so keen to, you know, get that all set up.
I think fantasy is going to be really big because a lot of people play NRL fantasy.
Hard.
If you're big into like the American sports, there's NBA fantasy, NFL fantasy. So for Super Rugby to finally have it and the amount of fans that we have, I think, put more seats in stadiums, just have more interaction with the fans. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, hard. Well, that's our preview. That's the first preview I've ever done. Eh? Fire up. Bro, I'm so keen to do more of those. That was fun, bro. That was mean.
Oh, man.
It's kind of weird. Like I watch Bloke in the Bar all the time. And I'm like, man, it'd be mean to do that. And
Rugby League guru, they're real good, eh?
And they do that sports they do a lot of.
Do you watch Levels as well?
Yeah, I watch Levels with
Willie
Willie's
Mason,
funny,
Justin
Hoddle, yeah.
Just says it how it
Bro,
is,
that was mean. That was cool. Thanks,
Us.
Appreciate this. That was mean. Yeah, so shout out to Cedric. If you go to his platform, you'll see, go follow Let's Talk Sports on TikTok as well. Get a lot of their content. We'll be sharing a lot of the stuff over the next couple of weeks, so we'll clip all this stuff up and we'll get that all sorted. Make sure you comment on this post, please, on YouTube. Let us know some feedback or anything you guys want or some ideas you might have for us to cover. And tell us why you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe to the channel. That'll be huge for us as we try and grow from here on out. Shout out to our sponsor, Freedom Internet, the main sponsor of our podcast. And keep your eyes peeled. Next week, we've got a big announcement coming for a fantasy league that the Hurtlocker wants to start. So we'll be right in there trying to lead some content from the front for everyone at home and for the fans to try and engage with. That's the episode. Thanks for locking in with the Hurtlocker. Appreciate that.